Previously on.
Previously.
Previously on.
Previously on.
Previously on. Previously on.
Previously on.
Previously on the recap sequence.
Hey, this is Tanner Zipshin, former host of the Cineplex Pre-Show, and you're listening to the recap sequence with Jamie and Ryan. Enjoy the show.
Guys, it's Ryan here on the floor of Freddy Beach Fan Fest. The doors are about to open here, and it just seems that every year we have a chance. Well, let's just say, back at Halifax last year at HalCon, I talked to this gentleman first. We talked to him first at East Coast Comic Expo. Now we're going to talk to Sandy Carruthers first, once again at Freddy Beach. How are you, sir?
I'm good. It seems I'm always the morning interview. But that's okay.
Now, I owe you an apology because we talked to you back in April.
Right.
And we congratulated you on being nominated for an award.
Yes.
And East Coast Comic came and went, and I was remiss. Congratulations on winning.
Thank you.
I want to make sure I get it right. The Sequential Magazine Award for Favorite Artist. Congratulations.
That's right. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's always an honor to win a nice prize like that. It's nice to know that you're loved. Yeah. And that's the biggest part of it. You know?
Absolutely. And of course, now we're here because, well, Dark Coast, you've seen it put out through Facebook now.
That's right.
How excited are you to see this? We talked to you a while ago, and you were just in the work process of this.
Yeah, believe it or not, I mean, this started in January, the conversation with Andrew Clark and Tony White, and we bandied about an idea for a title for it, and both Tony and Andrew and I have always felt that doing a maritime combo would be really nice to do.
Yeah.
And now with these shows coming out, we felt this is a good time to take advantage of it. I'm really pleased by this. I'm pleased that you've managed to corral not only people from Nova Scotia, but New Brunswick and Prince Edward Island. And so the talent in here is representative of maritime talent.
So how many people do you have that took part in this one for the first issue?
For this one, wow, you're giving me numbers.
Yeah, here we go. First thing in the morning, I know.
But I mean, I have to say, apart from me, Andrew Clark, Tony White, Brad Seymour from Prince Edward Island, Sami Francis from West, but she's a maritimer at heart.
Yes, she is. She's now officially a maritimer.
That's right. When I found out about that, I was like, come on now. Hal Hilden, of course, that wild rascal. Arden Belfry. I don't know if you guys know Arden or not. He's an island artist, and he did Hal's story. And you'll see, he's got a very interesting style. I'm really excited to see more stories from him. Brianna Ormond did the coloring for that story.
Nice.
And then from New Brunswick was Peter Brow and Willie Reed.
Nice.
So hopefully you'll get an interview with them.
That's
they did
awesome.
the last story. So every story has its own component. Every story is set in a different time period.
Yep.
Every story has the same host, which is Darkness.
Of course.
Darkness. And she is basically takes you on tour through these stories.
Now, we understand that Darkness may make an appearance here over the weekend.
Yes, you have a good understanding of that.
I have some good sources.
I think it's tomorrow, perchance.
Okay.
But now I don't want to do too many spoilers, but I already did. So.
Now, so I have to ask, how was it when you're putting this together to try and corral everybody to getting their work to you to be able to get this?
I thought it'd be a lot more harder to do, but
Yep.
actually everybody came on board, especially when I pushed the deadline. Originally the deadline was for October because I was going to do an island release first. But then when Freddy Beach came along, I said, well, you know what, I'll do a New Brunswick premiere first. And then next week is Decaf, so I'm going to do a Nova Scotia premiere there. And then PEI is the Wood Island show, and I'll be doing the premiere on the island for
Wow,
that.
so that just, you answered my next question. Your con schedule just keeps going, doesn't it?
Well, that'll be it.
That will be it,
I've got 3
okay.
more shows, and then I'm done for the year.
Wow, it's quite a run for you.
It was a good run. I had a nice break, though, in between ECC and here.
Yeah.
It gave me a little bit of a summer, which
Yeah.
is nice, and was able to finish up Dark Coast, which was important.
Yeah.
But right now, we're working on Dark Coast, too.
So there is, okay,
Oh,
and is it the same
absolutely.
collaboration of everyone involved?
So far.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, maybe some new stuff, maybe.
Well,
See.
I do have to ask them because on a recent interview we did with Andrew Clark, he referenced you as something. You happened to catch a wonderful screenshot of me putting my hands over my mouth.
Yes.
Are you sure this is still something you want to continue doing with Andrew Clark?
Well, Andrew is he's kind of like a parasite. He sort of attaches himself to you, and then there's no stopping him. It's like like all of a sudden your energy's drained and you realize, my God, it's Andrew attached to me. And, all right, I guess this is it. This is my life.
I will say though, when we saw you at the East Coast Comic Expo, I picked up my copy of Century Man 2 right there,
Yes.
which you and Andrew worked on.
Yeah.
Awesome book.
Thank you.
Awesome
Thank you.
book. I
was
have to
really
ask,
pleased with that.
is there more coming?
I'm hoping to.
Oh.
I'm hoping to. Right now I'm focused on Dark Coast
Right.
number 2, but yeah, I'm hoping that my second book next year will be Century Man number 3.
And I would be remiss as well if I didn't say at the same time I picked up, I had never read them yet, the 4 issues of Dark Sanctuary,
Okay.
and I devoured them in one day.
Did you?
It is twisted, and I loved every page.
Give you some nice twists and
Oh,
turns.
did it ever really? That's, I mean, if anybody, I've told some friends who are coming to the show this weekend, they've got to stop by and pick up their
Yeah,
copies if they
absolutely.
like this.
Dave Storm
So-
wrote that. Actually, Dave won Best Writer
Yes.
For Sequential Awards as well for the Dark Sanctuary series. And
Nice.
yeah, a fantastic writer, and it was a pleasure to work with him on this. And bring Sandstone into the horror genre,
Yep.
and I couldn't ask for anybody better to do that with.
Nice.
I'm hoping to get Dave involved with the Dark Coast series, but we'll see.
Awesome. Well, look, Sandy, I mean, the doors are going to be opening here soon. Everyone's going to be coming in here. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for contributing these amazing books and, for letting us to pick your ear and chat with you any chance we
Man,
get. It's so
you
much
guys are
fun.
a pleasure to chat with anytime.
Awesome.
Anytime.
Guys, it's Ryan here on the floor of Freddy Beach Fan Fest, and we're talking with Sandy Carruthers. Thanks, Sandy.
Make yours a recap.
Hey guys, it's Ryan here at Freddy Beach Fan Fest, and I think it would be safe to say we're talking to an honorary Maritimer now. Sami Francis is back here in Fredericton. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. I'm great.
Do you like that now? I think you are an honor after this past 6 months. Really, you're an honorary Maritimer, don't you think?
Yes. Well, I did grow up here. I spent my teenage years in
did you?
Halifax. Yes.
Okay, so it's nice to come home then.
Yes.
Okay. How's it going? Because we saw you in Moncton. You had just completed a whirlwind tour of like 3 shows in 3 weeks.
Yes, that was crazy.
That was, yeah, I can imagine. And now you're here because I think you just came in from out west a couple days ago as well. Oh, you're doing
Yeah.
pretty good. Looking all right with the time change and everything.
Oh yeah. Well, I slept a lot yesterday, so I'm good now.
How's how's the reception been for the Turtles? Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's been great. Yeah, it's been wonderful.
And what else are you working on these days?
I'm working on TMNT number 3 for
Yeah.
my variant cover for that. And I did a coloring job for Dark Coast, which was
Yes, we
Sandstone
have it right
Comics.
here. How cool was that collaborating
Yeah,
with all
that
these
was
people?
awesome. That was really cool. Like
That-
there's so many fun stories in there,
Yeah.
and I just think it's wonderful to be a part of it.
I do want to ask you, when you say you do a variant cover for like TMNT or whatever, do you have more flexibility as to what you can do? Did they just say go crazy when you're drawing a variant or doing a variant?
Yeah, so I have a lot of flexibility.
Yeah.
I usually send them 1 to 4 concepts, and then they'll pick whatever one they want.
Yeah.
The one I'm working on right now, I only sent 1 concept, and they were good with that, so I'm pretty happy with that.
I do need to ask, if my memory serves me, when we talked to you in Moncton, Donatello was your favorite?
Leonardo.
Leonardo, okay.
Yeah.
Is he front and center this time?
Yes, for number 3.
Your banner
yes.
does have Donatello, I know, but so we said, okay, somewhere down the line. So he is front and center number 3.
Yes, he is. So I'm doing 1 turtle for each cover.
Right.
So I'm doing 4 covers in total.
Cool.
And they are connecting,
Yep.
so they're going to all string together into one.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
Wow, that is a lot of fun. And then can you talk about anything else you got on the go after this? If you can, it's okay.
Nothing else really happening.
What about your con schedule? Does it slow down after this, or are you?
Yeah, there's a few more cons
Yeah.
that I'm going to be doing. I'll be in Edmonton. I'll be in Ottawa. Thank you. Regina.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, and how's the reception? Because you're part of the GY6 crew now, right?
Yes.
How's that going as well?
It's great. Yeah. Yes, I love GY6. Everybody involved in that, they're all great people.
You can admit it to us if it's true. I mean, Hal Hilden's not here, so if you really want to talk smack about him, feel free to.
Oh, I would
Many others.
never.
Listen to
I
this.
would never.
Wow. There it is. All right. And you have a panel coming up later this afternoon, I understand
do,
here.
yes.
So we'll be there because
Okay, great.
we've been asked to record this for Justin.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, he wants us, so we're going to send it to him after it's done there. So, because he really wanted to be here today.
Yes.
But
yes.
it's too bad. So anyways, listen, the doors are going to be opening here soon. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate it too. Yes.
Awesome.
Have a good day.
This is Summer Glau, River Tam from Firefly, and you are listening to the recap sequence with Jamie and Ryan.
Guys, it's Ryan here at Freddy Beach Fan Fest, and I'm talking with the artist from issue 1 of Got Your Six, Sebastien. Roy, how are you, sir?
Good, yourself?
Good. We saw you at East Coast Comic Expo. You were incredibly busy that day.
Yes, I was.
I do have to ask, were you last time we saw you at Freddy Beach last year, you were literally drawing right past the time they were folding up the tables.
Yes.
Was that the same at East Coast as well?
It was, and I actually got a few orders that I've been working on at home right now.
Oh, wow.
Since then, and I'm trying to finish some of those, and I was trying to create some pieces for this show. So it's been very busy the last little while here.
That is awesome,
which is encouraging, right?
Absolutely, and I would say as well, congratulations on Got Your Six issue 1.
Thank you.
How was it when you finally got that first issue in your hands?
It was pretty cool. It's one of those things where you always want to have your own creation out there, or you're part of a project that you've worked on, and having that opportunity to work with those guys has been great. And we're getting a lot of great feedback from it, so that's even more encouraging. That is happening. So.
Did you ever think, because we talked to you and you were working on issue 1 at that point, did you ever think there was a light at the end of the tunnel where you'd actually be holding that first issue?
I was certainly hoping so. The process was a little bit slow for me, having a regular job and trying to find the time to work on it. But when I finally got that printed copy in my hands, it's kind of a proud moment, right? I had done covers before, but never like a full issue, and with colors and with a whole creative team. So it was almost like a nice accomplishment, right, for my sort of little career in this world. So it was exciting times, and we're doing a lot of promotion for it still, and we're trying to get it out in the comic bookstores, which we may have a lead into doing that.
Excellent.
So that's awesome.
So the reception from people who have read the book?
Yeah, it's been great, and I think there's been a lot of military personnel that's approached us, and I've been, for them it's been sort of, they've lived some like very similar stories, and it's nice to know that they appreciate what we've done, because part of our team, we wanted to do something that was true to what's really happening out there, as opposed to more to make it too fictionalized, I guess. And so to have it to have that particular feedback from those individuals, I think is even probably the best of all feedback, right? To know that we're honoring them in a sense by doing this book.
That's awesome. So are you working on issue 2 at the moment, or where are we with issue 2?
Right now, the two writers are working on the script. One of the writers moved out west, so they're just he's trying to get all set up over there, and then they've been working. They got 5 or 6 pages written so far, and I'm waiting for them to send me the script so I can start kind of putting pen to paper and seeing what we can do.
Now that you've had issue 1 done, have you figured out ways your approach to it now going forward?
Yeah, I think so. I normally try to just do 1 page at a time, and not flesh out the story until I get to that next page. Now I'm trying to do a little bit more of that kind of thumbnail approach of what I want to see on each pages, so that when I get to it, I already have like a really good idea of how I want it to look and that sort of thing. So. And just set the right kind of time aside to work on this project too, as opposed to sometimes I would take a long time in between pages, and you lose kind of that momentum, and it you try to get back in the mood to do a particular stories like that in between doing kind of colorful pictures, and then all of a sudden you're going into a more kind of very dark kind of story in a sense, and trying to get back in that mood. So it's been now that I've done it once, I know how to approach it the second time here.
Nice.
And for the other issues as well.
And I see right now as we talk to you, you're working on a Deadpool Wolverine
yes.
Print here. That is awesome. Have you seen the movie yet?
I have seen the movie, and this is why I started this last
night.
No
spoilers yet, because we haven't.
I want to include some other characters that do show up in the movies. You may not want to be by the table later on as I add the characters, but it is a phenomenal movie. A great kind of, if it's one of the last Deadpool movie, which I doubt, but certainly for a third, for the third time, they say third time's a charm, and I think they really hit it out of the park with this one. Funny as usual, just nonstop action. I didn't think they could surpass Deadpool 2 because that's one of my favorite Cable and Domino and those characters, but I really do think that they created something here that's, it really opens it up for other opportunities as well, in my view. And everybody I've talked to that I've seen it, I've said the same thing. It's just a great movie.
Everyone I've heard and spoken with have said, in fact, that there's nothing wrong with this movie.
No. And they really, like I said, for a movie that's R-rated, that sometimes you think it's just a bunch of jokes, it does have a kind of a good story. It ties it back to some of the Marvel shows that are on TV, but overall, like I said, just a great movie. Fun. It's just a fun movie.
Awesome. Well, listen, Sebastien, I won't keep you because, that is an impressive piece right there alone. And I know you want to get to drawing the other characters who we do not know anything about. What's your con schedule after this, or is?
Probably gonna be. That's normally my last one of the year.
Okay.
I'm not doing HalCon. I've thought about it in the past of doing it, but it's a little bit too late to apply. And I normally kind of wind down and we'll finish some orders that I got, and then all of a sudden it's winter and and spring, and then we start all over again with Moncton and but there are a few other cons that I've seen come up that I really do. I'm thinking of potentially attending.
Nice.
Right, so I'm going to look into that right now.
Well, I won't keep any more. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
again,
guys.
Congratulations on the success of Got Your Six, man.
Thank you, guys.
Looking forward to
Appreciate
seeing
it a lot.
issue 2.
Thank you.
Thanks. Hey guys, it's Ryan here on the floor of Freddy Beach Fan Fest, and I'm here with Aaron Reynolds. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. Welcome to Fredericton.
Thank you.
And welcome to Freddy Beach Fan Fest.
Yeah.
I believe you were here last year?
2 years ago.
For
when it was in the Fredericton Inn, when it was
Big
still
Country.
called Big Country.
That's
yes.
right, yes. And if you're looking at the table, folks, explain Effin' Birds, please.
Yeah, so Effin' Birds is a daily comic strip where I pair up all of my frustrations with life with beautiful bird artwork. So that people don't think I'm a murderer or whatever else, and I can also get all my my demons out there. Yeah.
How does that working for you so far?
It's great. I've never been more relaxed in my entire life. I feel I don't know if blessed is the right word, but it is really great to have my personal therapy also be my job.
That's true.
To be able to make a living by doing something I would want to do anyways, just to get all the stuff out.
And it's worked so far, so good.
Great. Yeah, we're on year 8 of this comic, which is wild to me.
So,
it is officially the second longest job I've ever had, and it's encroaching on being the longest job I've ever had.
So tell us, how did all this start then for you?
Oh man, so I went to art school and I did arts things, and then I had a child, and I realized that I was not built for the financial insecurity of freelance life.
Okay.
And I took a job at a big technology company, and I worked there for 11 years, but about halfway through it, I had a big health scare, and I had this moment of I got to make things for me. I have to make things again. And I just started making things, and the joy of social media at that time is it was still relatively easy to get attention if you made something interesting.
Yep.
And it still is now, but it's not as easy as it was 10 years ago.
True.
And so I would do a thing, and I would see what kind of reaction it had, and then I would do a new version of that thing, and I kept iterating and iterating on it until one day this showed up in my brain, and I was like, oh, this has all the things on my sheet of what's good and none of the things that are on my sheet of what's bad. Maybe this will be the one.
So just so we're looking at this, we've got so far books,
yes. Yep.
Playing cards.
Yep. Trading cards
and calendars on my
yes.
left.
So calendars, these all come out in another month or so. I have some right now, but they'll be in bookstores everywhere soon. In fact, I have none of one of the formats because Barnes & Noble in the States bought the whole print run. And
really?
We had to go to a second printing before it's come out. It doesn't. I don't think it comes out until August, September.
That is incredible.
Yeah, it's great. I've never had that happen before, so that's awesome.
And then, of course, I'd be remiss if we didn't point out right here
this beautiful
the
fella.
San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. Was that this year?
Yeah, this is from literally 4 days ago. I was home for one day between that show and this show, and I was like, why do I I don't need to take these out of my suitcase. I'll just bring these to this show. Why not, right? Like,
And how did they do?
oh, they did great. They did great.
I do want to ask, what's it like? Had you been to Comic-Con before?
Yes.
Okay.
Previous years, we do a thing. We check my pace because it feels grueling.
Right.
Right. And previous years, my pace was that I signed something every 90 seconds.
Oh.
And this year, the show is 41 hours long, right? Like, in counting preview day and early opening and all that, 41 hours of show floor time. And in that time, I signed just over 2,000 items, which is an item, it was 51-ish items per hour. So almost one a minute. And I was just like, I was icing my hand every night. It was absurd. And I think the hardest part of that show is you can't really have a good conversation with anybody at it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I like to have a chat with somebody. If somebody's coming to see me, like, you have to acknowledge them and be with them as a human being for a moment. And San Diego, you can't do that. San Diego, you sell some stuff, you sign a thing, you talk to them 30 seconds, and then you got to go on to the next person. Because the line, if it gets too long, your neighbors get mad because suddenly your line is in front of their table.
You're encroaching on their table.
And we had like a big corner, and we had a line that would go all the way around, and then we'd just start getting onto these guys who like certify and grade trading cards and like comic books beside us, and they didn't love us. They didn't love us. So you know.
Wow.
Sorry.
And now you're here.
I'm
for the weekend. The doors will be opening here shortly.
Yeah.
For anybody who watches this later on and goes, I want to check this out. First of all, where can they find you?
effandbirds.com or any social media platform. Look for Effin' Birds. I'm there on everything. Some of them I'm very interactive on, and some of them I'm not so much. But I schedule the comic across, I think, 12 platforms now. Because it's possible to do it, so I might as well.
So, are you working on more as you go?
Always. So I delivered all of the comics to my calendar publisher for 2026 at the start of June. And then when I do that, then I take a little break.
Okay.
And part of that is because then, like, my biggest shows of the year, San Diego Comic-Con, Dragon Con in Atlanta, Fan Expo Canada in Toronto, all happen in a 4-week span.
Oh my gosh.
Right? And then this one's right in the middle of it. And I was like, you know what this is? This is like a vacation. This is a vacation show.
Nice.
I love this. I was like, there's a salmon museum here? I want to go to the salmon museum. It's so bad.
Up the road about half an hour or so.
That's what I heard. I'm going to have to get them to take me there maybe
exactly,
on Monday.
right? You'd be all set.
And Monday's a holiday?
Yeah.
Well, it's
New Brunswick
Day.
Yep.
See, I love that. I love that. Yeah, so I'll have to go maybe the Salmon Museum on New Brunswick Day.
There
right?
you
That
go.
would be perfect. Yeah.
Listen, Aaron, I won't keep any longer than that. This is just hilarious stuff. Thank you very much for taking the time to chat with us.
My pleasure.
Congratulations on the success of this.
Thank you.
And wow, love the shirt, man.
Thank you.
That kicks ass. So
I was so proud to make this and just like make it just a little bit trolly. You know what I mean? Like just I kept the words that say "eat farts" below the nipples, so that if you're on a Zoom call, this just looks like a nice shirt with ducks on it. You know?
You really planned this one out.
Oh,
didn't you?
I'm a monster.
Does your wife know what?
She doesn't think this is funny.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that's just unacceptable. Is that why she's not sitting next to you right now?
Oh, she's in Toronto.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. She's not into this whole. I don't know that she loves the change in my career path. But whatever. You know what? We needed a new roof.
This is
and this paid for a new roof.
There you go.
So can't argue with
This
that.
is a mental health break right here.
It really
This is
is.
exactly what it is.
Thank
so,
you.
Thanks, Aaron. We really appreciate
My
it. Man.
pleasure. Thanks for coming by.
Awesome.
Hi, this is Will Friedle, co-host of I Hear Voices and Eric Matthews from Boy Meets World, and you are listening to the Recap Sequence with Jamie and Ryan.
Hey guys, it's Ryan here at Freddy Beach Fan Fest, and I'm with Casey Parsons. How are you, sir?
Good. How are you, Ryan?
Very good, thank
Nice
you.
to see you guys.
Welcome to Fredericton.
Yeah, thank you. It's my first time doing the Freddy Beach show.
Nice.
Almost made it last year and had a snafu with the flight.
That's
so,
right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm happy we finally made it. I decided to drive so there'd be no flight issues. Yeah. Very happy to be here.
Have you had a chance to go around the city at all and see it?
Not yet. We're going to be doing a little tour on Monday.
Nice.
So yeah, we just got in last night. I raced in and set up just before it closed, and yeah.
That is awesome.
Gonna enjoy the city. It's I've only ever been to like Moncton and stuff, so I haven't explored Fredericton at all.
Right.
So, Yeah.
Oh, well, that's good. Well, hopefully you'll get a chance to have a look around. It's a long weekend, and hopefully the weather cools down a little bit for
Yes. Yeah, it's a little warm.
you. Yeah, well, this is New Brunswick's contribution to the con is a level 1 heat wave, so happy to have you here.
Come enjoy the heat with us, please. Yeah.
What are you up to these days?
So this is one of the latest things that came out. I've been doing like a bunch of cards with Upper Deck, like the Marvel Platinum was one. Flare came out, and Midnight Suns, that was all this year. And recently, another thing I did was a tour poster for Coheed and Cambria, the rock band. So I'm part of Kirby's Comic Art. It's a big art collective, like artists all over the world.
Yep.
Guys like David Mack and Alex Malev and Ken Williams and DK Ruin, and it's a huge roster of people, amazing talents. So we've been lucky enough to we're starting to kind of like branch, like not just comics, but like going a little outside and doing some special things. So these tour posters was.
How do you like doing that? A little more freedom for creating?
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. I mean, I'm kind of a fan of art in general and illustration. So guys like Drew Struzan and Bernie Fuchs and things are heroes of mine. So getting to do like poster work is kind of fun, you know. And I see like Sienkiewicz doing something like the Unforgiven movie posters and stuff. It's
nice.
I'd love to do something like that, you know. So yeah, poster work I'm a fan of.
Is it because you can get a little more creative with, or do you actually have like when you do? Because I see here, you know, you covers Darkwing Duck, Turtles, that kind of thing. It's more direction
similar,
for you. Or?
Yeah, I guess there's a little bit. There's slightly different concerns. Like, so for a comic cover, like you're trying to get them to open the book, like go into the book and try and tell a story in a sense, and you're doing that with illustration, like a poster as well. Yeah, it's a slightly different thing, but quite similar. Like, and it depends on the company or who's commissioning the project. So, some give you a little more freedom than others. So for Ninja Turtles, like I didn't have a ton of freedom. It's like I had all these ideas for the story that was in the comic book, but they're like, nope, we just want Turtles, New York, and then show a bit of the wormhole thing going on. I'm like, okay, yep, classic Turtles. But sure, no problem. And just happy, you know, to be working on that.
Do you have a favorite turtle?
Leonardo's was always my guy.
All right, so that's the second one. We talked to Sami Francis this morning, and she reconfirmed it's Leonardo as well.
Yeah, I mean the katanas, and then you know, and he's also one of my favorite artists of all time. So, and the blue, I don't know, the green and blue are kind of my colors.
I like to ask all the artists that we meet and everything like that. Is there any projects that you're working on independently as well? Are you allowed a little freedom to do that?
Yeah. So actually, like. Part of this trip out here, we're going to be spending some time in PEI, like just doing a little excursion around the East Coast, because I'm coming more from like Hamilton way, so it's a little bit ways away, Southern Ontario. So in part of that time, I've been planning on working on my own. I don't know how big this thing's going to be, but I'm hoping it'll be like at least a thin graphic novel type of thing. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So I want to get rolling on that. It's been years of me wanting to do this. Because I've been doing a lot of covers and a lot of pinups and things like that, but I have stories I want to tell.
Well, that's good. That's part of the fun thing we like to do with our show is to be able to talk to people, you know, independent creators and whatnot, who have all these crazy ideas.
I love comics. I love the whole thing. I like the storytelling and storytelling through visual medium like that, and playing around with sequential, you know, all that stuff. And I haven't been able to kind of flex those muscles. So. Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing that.
Awesome. Well, listen, I won't keep you any longer. I do have one question I like to ask our artists that we talk to. Is there a bucket list of anybody out there that you would ever, if anyone approached you, said, who would you like to draw?
I mean, this guy.
All right. Incredible Hulk.
He's always been my favorite since I was a little bambino, you know. Like, so.
Green or gray, though?
Green.
Okay.
Yeah. Savage Classic Green Hulk.
All right.
And I've had some kind of story ideas. I'd love to do kind of almost like what DC does with the Black Label, or a separate Elseworlds kind of thing with the Hulk, like do his own, like his own version of a Dark Knight Returns Hulk kind of thing. Almost.
So I do like to ask then, do you have a favorite Hulk from the movies?
Oh, from the movies.
There's 3 right now. 4 actually. Sorry.
Yes.
I forget about Bill Bixby.
I mean, the Ruffalo Hulk's doing a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But the favorite banner, I'm kind of torn. I do like Ruffalo, though. I think he's,
Nice.
I like his acting and all that. I don't know if it's the look so much that's in my head, but I just take them for what they are, and it's that person's interpretation. And
absolutely.
But the Hulk is looking more and more Hulk all the time, which is good. Until the recent change, but
exactly.
I think he'll go back to Savage
Are you excited
Hulk.
about seeing Red Hulk in January?
Yeah, I'm kind of interested to see that. Yeah. I haven't been to the movies in a little while, so I've been missing some stuff.
Okay, so that would answer then the other
any
question.
version
You
of
haven't
Hulk,
you
I'm
haven't
happy to
seen
see.
the newest release set for Deadpool?
No. That I think next week I'm gonna go.
Okay, good. So you and I are in the same boat. We can ignore my co-host because he abandoned
Try
me when
not
he
to
saw
hear
it.
spoilers and all
Exactly, and we're warning everybody. So, well, listen, Casey, enjoy the rest of enjoy the rest of Freddy Beach, man, and
thank you.
enjoy your stay here. And hopefully you get to see a few of the sights.
Yeah, for sure. I love it. Yeah,
awesome.
A lot of good people out here. So yeah,
awesome.
Happy to be here.
Thank you
Thanks,
very much.
guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys, it's Ryan here at Freddy Beach Fan Fest, and I am with Sam Noir. How are you, sir?
Excellent. I don't get out to the East Coast much, and I'm just delighted to be here. It's a lovely town.
Well, welcome. Very nice to have you here at the event, and you're with Raid Studios?
Yes, the legendary Toronto-based studio, over 20 years old, and doing some pretty exciting stuff. Not only is it a studio with 20 comics creators there, a physical space. To me, it's the Marvel bullpen that you always imagined in your head, because from what I understand, even the Marvel bullpen wasn't quite what it was presented to us. So yeah, it's a wonderful co-working space for creators, but it's also ground zero right now for some very exciting stuff, including explosion of publishing initiative through Raid Press, amongst other things.
And we actually had an opportunity to talk to a couple of your colleagues who were in Moncton. Ramon Perez was one of them.
Our creative head, the man with the vision.
Yes, absolutely, and it was a lot of fun because that's what they talked up was the creativity that's spilling out of Raid Studios right now.
Yeah, and just to have, well, I don't know if you're familiar with Toronto, but the fact that Raid now occupies a storefront.
No, we didn't know that.
The back of the studio is where we all work, but there's also a storefront which is on Queen Street West, which is kind of the gallery district, the arts district, the up-and-coming neighborhood. Yeah. So down the street, in the former Parkdale, as they like to call it, is what's called the gallery district, and now the Raid Gallery is part of that scene, but exclusive to genre and comics art, as well as some awesome coffee and empanadas. Just to give
There's the cheap plug right there.
If you're in Toronto, come in and check out the gallery. It's a very unique space.
We definitely will if I get a chance to get up there. Now, what are you working on these days?
What I'm really excited about, we were talking about Raid Press, the latest project coming out from Raid Press, I think it's the next book to be published, is a hardcover collection of content from Cauldron Magazine. I don't know if Casey talked to you about Cauldron Magazine, but it's founded by 4 friends, Shane Herron, Ricky Lima, myself, and Casey. And what we love about Cauldron, it stemmed from a conversation, essentially, where we were lamenting that there was nothing like these magazines we had when we were kids. And we discovered these magazines a little too young when we probably shouldn't have been reading this stuff.
Right.
Magazines like Heavy Metal, Epic Illustrated, Creepy, Eerie, the original black and white Vampirella magazine, Savage Sword of Conan. And unbeknownst to us, though, the reason why this was grown-up content, as it was done in a magazine format, a larger format, so that it wouldn't be amongst regular comics and would not have to be subject to the comics code. So that's why it was such edgy stuff at the time, and again, there was nothing sort of like it with the rise of a more conservative comic culture in recent years. So just for fun, we decided to put together the first issue of Cauldron, and it was an unexpected success. So we were really happy. A lot of friends of ours jumped on board. Adam Gorham, who's best known for Godzilla and Rocket Raccoon, he offered to do a cover of the second issue. so
nice.
we had to do a second issue.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
So it's been an unexpected success because this was supposed to be a side project. It's kind of like gorillas coming out of Blur and surpassing Blur, right?
Yeah.
It was one of these things where you just sort of do it on a whim out of pure passion. We didn't know if there'd be an audience for this, and it turns out there is, especially as we leaned into it during the shutdowns and the pandemic of the last few years.
So there's been quite a positive response, then, you'd say?
Yes,
excellent.
Yes, absolutely. And so Raid Press is collecting the best material along with new material from the first 4 issues of this magazine into a beautiful, beautiful deluxe hardcover. It features my studio mate Kalman Andrzejowski. You'll see on the banner, this is the art that's featured on the
awesome.
cover of this upcoming hardcover. We made sure to have essentially an archival quality. So it's a large, oversized hardcover. It did really well on Kickstarter, and it's at the. Ramon tells me it's at the printer now, and knock wood, we'll have it in time for the Halloween season because horror anthologies. Anthology of supernatural tales would obviously do very, very well during that season. So
if anybody's looking for this, where can they find this? Where can they get their hands on this?
They can, in terms of the magazines themselves, I think they're still available in the Raid store, and I want to say raidpress.com, and they can continue to pre-order the hardcover for now through raidpress.com.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And yes, definitely that sounds really exciting with the collector coming out as well. I do have to ask though, so you said you worked with Casey Parsons. We just talked to him. He was saying some very nice things about you.
Lies,
all
lies.
So that you're a wonderful person to be next to, so you're saying it's all debunked?
No, I'm let's squash that myth. I'm just a horrible human being, and I am very fortunate to have a friend like Casey who will be my convention buddy and put up with all my nonsense. He's very
nodding no
patient.
to us. He's nodding no to us.
He's a very, very patient man to put up with all our travel shenanigans. I owe Casey an awful lot. I've always wanted to do a lot of extensive traveling, and thanks to my dear friend here, I've gotten to go to Europe for the first time, and we've gone all over Italy to the conventions he's been invited to, and over to London, and conventions all over North America since over the last couple of years, since the world has opened up again. That was kind of my vow. We kind of stayed in our little Southern Ontario sandbox for a long time, and in my mind, I'm like, I need to see the world now, and the comics and friendships like this. Aaron Reynolds as well has done a lot of traveling with us over there, so I am hugely fortunate to have such a great community like Raid, like my traveling companions at shows. Comics is just such a warm, inviting environment everywhere you go. Even a show like this, over the past few hours even, I've met some wonderful, wonderful people, and then you see the same faces over and over again as well, and so you form a little bit of a family on the road.
That's awesome. What's your con schedule like for the rest of the year then? You staying busy?
Yeah. We are, the big show, especially for Raid, we have an entire Raid section at Fan Expo Canada in Toronto.
Nice.
Sort of the big nerd prom of the year in Canada, as we call it. We'll be having, it's very exciting. So we normally have a large Raid section with some impressive displays and signage. So
awesome.
Definitely check out the Raid studio there. So I'll be at the Winnipeg show, the Ottawa show, Fan Expo Canada, and beyond as well. Yeah.
Well, Sam, if anybody who's watching this and listening to this and they want to find more about you or Raid, where can they find all this information?
They can find out about Raid, in terms of the projects that Raid's working on, raidpress.com, and they can find me online at Hey Sam Noir. on X and Instagram, and then I am Sam Noir's Comics and Toys on Facebook.
Perfect. Well, there you have it. Sam, listen, man, I can't thank you enough for giving the time to chat with us today.
A pleasure chatting with you.
I hope you enjoy the rest of the convention here at Freddy Beach.
I'm sure I will. It looks like a fantastic environment.
All right.
Hey, this is Jamie.
And this is Ryan.
And we're the Recap Sequence.
Be sure to tune in to us every Wednesday night on CHSR 97.9 FM or online at chsrfm.ca at 7 p.m. Atlantic, 6 p.m. Eastern.
And if you don't catch us live, you can catch our podcast on Spotify, on Amazon, anywhere you get your favorite podcasts. And we also have a YouTube channel you may have been watching. And if not, you should be. Catch us on YouTube at Recap Sequence. So
and subscribe.
Subscribe, yeah, please.
Hey guys, it's Ryan here at Freddy Beach Fan Fest, and I'm with Paul Beale. How are you, sir?
Doing great, doing great.
Welcome back to Freddy Beach. We saw you, actually, we were saying right before we started recording, we saw you in Moncton this year at the East Coast Comic Expo. And then we chatted with you back at Big Country Comic Expo.
Yep, up at the hotel there.
Almost 2 years. So how have things been going for you?
Things have been going great. I'm still writing stories for Antarctic Press.
Okay.
And also I'm writing a book right now. I've taken the Hidden Island, that story that was in the back issues of Jungle Comics, and I'm turning it into a novel.
Are you really?
And I'm actually finished. I'm just in the proofreading stage.
How was that, I guess, the experience of writing a novel?
It was great because when you're doing 6 pages in a comic book as a backstory, I had in my head about 20 characters. But that's not, you're not going to get, they're extras in the comic book version.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing now is I'm fleshing out all the characters that got stranded on the island in the story. So
nice. So really, you already had backstory.
I already had them in my head.
Started,
but I compressed it to fit into the backstory for the comics.
So you're at the proofreading stage now.
Yeah, and it should be out in a month or two.
Really?
On Amazon. Look for the Hidden Island. It's called.
Wow, that's exciting.
Yeah.
So I mean, I can ask you the same thing. You know what it's like when you actually hold something, because we're looking here at your table right now, and all Canadian comics, all action heroes, all rock and roll. That's pretty good. That one, I like that.
Yeah.
What's it going to be like to be able to hold the novel for the first time?
Well, I've had that experience once before because I'm also with Airship 27. My other professional gig is Airship 27.
Oh wow.
They're a pulp novel company. My Hidden Island book will be a similar size, and I have a story in that, and I have a story coming out from as well. So from their second edition of the Three Musketeers.
So you've been staying busy then.
I write a lot. Like I always tell people I have 100 worlds in my head, and I'm desperate to get them out before I die. So I'm up at around 30 right now. I still got 70 worlds to get out. I literally just turn my daydreams and sometimes night dreams into stories.
So I just have to ask, because some people I've talked to, who are authors and whatnot, and it's like, do you just keep a notepad by your bedside table and you wake up in the middle of the night?
No, because I can remember it.
Really?
I can remember what so I write everything just for the fun of it. Movie scripts. I write songs, song lyrics. I can never remember the song lyrics. I have to write them down right away.
Right.
But when it comes to the stories, they just don't leave. They're up there. I don't have the copy of this right now. I wish I did, but I actually had one story I did for Red Leaf called Arcs, which was in my head since I was 12 years old, and that was in the early 70s, and I first did a version of it in the early 90s. So 20 years later, I still had the thing in my head. I had to adjust it to make it work. You take that original idea and think, does this make real sense, or do I need to change it? So I changed it a bit.
Okay.
So
nice.
But they stick with me, which is a good thing.
How long? So the book you're doing right now, it should be out, you say, next month. How long did that take for you to
Maybe
put it
2 months, yeah.
Wow. So in the
I
run of a year,
I want to get it I don't want one period in the wrong place. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Of course, we're like we said to everybody, you're your own worst critic,
yes,
right? So,
yes.
So once this one's done, do you have another one already
I know
percolating?
I know what I'm actually doing. I'm going to be doing the novel version of Arcs.
Wow.
Which is a alternate timeline.
Yeah.
Where the World War II lasted a little longer.
Okay.
And technology, especially of weapons, became advanced faster. And then in the 1960s, it ends up being a war with the Russians.
Wow.
Which I actually sent this to multiple companies, the comic book version, years ago, a proposal. Paid for a cover from a guy named Patrick Zurcher who did Deadpool for a while.
Oh, really?
Paid for a cover by him, everything. Sent it to all of them, and every one of them had the same response to me. I like it.
but we don't want Russian bad guys because that was when the Russians were being nice for a while. We can't sell a book with a Russian bad guy right now because the Berlin Wall was coming down and all that stuff, right? So I literally thought my timing is terrible.
And
but now I'm like, maybe I could do this now, and they buy it, right? Because we're not so crazy about the Russians anymore. So maybe I could have Russian bad guys again. So
that's fun. Yeah. What's your con schedule like then after this?
This is my last one for the year.
Okay.
Yeah, this is my last one for the year, as far as I know. So I'm coming to the end of my con schedule. So
have you had a good season so far?
I had a great season. I had a great East Coast one in Moncton.
Yep.
I sold more comics that day than I've ever sold at any convention.
Wow, fantastic.
People are back out. There's no more COVID scare. People, I found the first year after COVID, people were still not coming out too much. Now it's like there's tons of people coming out now, which is fantastic.
That was something, and I remember we talked to you and Sebastien back at Big Country about how the turnout was really good and people were excited.
Yeah.
And it just seems year after year it's just gotten everyone's now, but it's back.
You see people come back that you saw the last time.
Yeah.
But then you're seeing the new faces too. I think it's a growing thing right now.
Yeah.
I call it geek culture. I don't know. We should get our own day. We have May the 4th.
I like that.
We have May the 4th, I suppose.
That's true.
We'll call it that one.
That's good.
But we should get our own day.
Yeah, and it's nice to see everybody out and about now.
It is. And like I say, with no more COVID.
Yeah.
Well, not no more COVID. I shouldn't say. There's no more restrictions.
Right.
People have just flooded back out to these conventions. Yeah. That's what I'm finding.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's good. Listen, Paul, we really appreciate you taking the time to chat with us.
Thank you for talking to me.
Congratulations on the success of this book here. I'm going to keep an eye out for it. And please let us know when it's coming because we'll be more than happy to put this out and share it and get the word out for you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Hey guys, it's Ryan here on the floor of Freddy Beach Fan Fest, and I'm here with James Dickson. Dickson, I got it right. All right. How are you, sir?
Good. Thank you very much.
How's the con treating you so far?
Not bad.
I know.
Working on a Deadpool cover.
Oh, of course. That seems to be the going trend right now of requests?
We watched the movie the other night, enjoyed it. So
spoiler free, please, because I have not seen
I'm
it.
not spoiling anything. So.
That's awfully nice. And you're part of the GY6 crew, are you not?
That's correct. Yeah.
We saw you in Moncton. How is it being part of this crew?
It's an odd, eclectic mix of individuals, but I'm enjoying it so far.
Now, I mean, if you do need to say something about Hal Hilden, he's not here. I know you got stuck next to him. I just noticed that the lovely young lady sitting next to you laughed when I said that. So if you want to talk trash about him, please feel free.
Yeah, it's my wife, Melody. Hal sat next to us at ECCE, and he's quite a character for sure. And I'm going to miss his wrestling moves with Andrew Clark here. So yeah.
Okay, so you were privy to the first ever recap wrestling promo.
I actually saw the event on your podcast.
Yeah.
I missed it live, but yeah, it was hilarious.
Yeah, it's quite something, isn't it? It's unexpected on our part. Congratulations, by the way. You did the cover for Dark Coast. How was that?
It was amazing. Sandy and I keep joking that we went to college together, but he was actually my instructor when I went to college years and years ago. And I went into, it was a graphic design course, and I went in thinking illustration, so I was kind of off kilter a little bit when I got there. I was like, not quite what I was thinking I was getting into. So, and then Sandy took over midway through. It was a 2-year course, and midway Sandy took over as one of the instructors. And coming from a comic book background, really kind of invigorated me and kind of kept me going. He kind of encouraged me to do fantasy art, illustration. So Sandy's kind of responsible for my passion for comic book art. So.
Okay, so he's taking a cut of whatever you make off the table today, right?
Most
okay. The cover is awesome.
Thank you.
What's it like when you finally get these books in your hands?
I was telling when he dropped them off, I was like, they always look so much better in person because we're sharing photographs and stuff.
Right.
They never translate well in a photograph. So when you get it in person, it's like, oh, this looks amazing. So.
But we'll ask, so is he his own worst critic?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, there you have it. There, I'll duck for a moment. There you go. How was ECCE for you? Like, I mean, are you getting to do a lot of the con
you guys
schedules?
saw the setup there. Those octagonal shapes with your little personal space in the background. That was amazing. That was my first time, because of Got Your Six, that I got to be a guest at a con.
Yep.
So the whole vibe was amazing. People coming through, getting to sign those comic books, put my name on things. Like I told my wife, I said, I could make no money whatsoever. Just signing those for kids coming up, that was priceless by itself. So.
Did you ever think when you were doing these classes and going to school for this that you would one day be sitting here signing stuff like this?
No, it's It's kind of mind-blowing, kind of out of this world kind of feeling. But this is my first year doing cons.
Okay.
Last year I did Freddy Beach Fan Fest, my first con ever. So now I've taken on like both AEX, Freddy Beach, I'm going to Miracon, I'm going to HorrorCon, and I got HalCon in the.
Oh, you're going to be there! Awesome. So we
first
will see
time
you.
tabling there, so
nice.
It's a little intimidating going into that larger environment, but kind of getting a feel for how things go and finding time to get some more original pieces done. And
now, are you finding that some more pressure now on you to do? I mean, because we'll be at HalCon, we're going to see you there for sure now.
Yeah.
But I mean, you've got some incredible work that's up here.
Thank you.
Do you find there's more pressure on you at this point?
More personal pressure? Yeah, it's not so much pressure from outside. It's more me wanting to do more and get more out there. But getting the opportunity to do some of these published pieces really kind of invigorates me and gets me back into doing those sorts of things.
Well, that is awesome. I will ask, as I look at some of these here, it's quite an eclectic group. Is there a bucket list of people, like if someone came up to you, who would you ever want to draw?
I'm sure you can tell by the artwork I've done that I kind of tend towards bulkier, kind of massive, awkward looking dudes.
Yes,
so,
and yes.
Like a Man Thing, Swamp Thing, Lobo, obviously. Those are the types of characters I would enjoy doing, those kind of mean.
And then I look behind you on your banner, and the third one, Michael Scott.
Yeah.
How eclectic is that one amongst them?
I mean, I'm 51, right? So my genre range is everywhere. So I pull from whatever. I'm a pop culture guy, so whatever I find I enjoy and my wife and I laugh at on shows becomes my subject matter.
I like the Michael Scott, though. I think that's a really, I mean, amongst all the horror.
So those are actually reproduced from trading cards. So they're
really?
blown up. So it's always interesting to see how a small piece of artwork looks more interesting when you blow it up and you get all the little details and stuff. But yeah, I get into Tops and Upper Deck doing sketch cards and stuff for them. Got to do licensed work, so that was something that kind of got me into this whole convention thing. So yeah, trading cards is kind of where I started honing my chops.
Well, I saw the Deadpool and Wolverine trading cards you were showing on Facebook that you were going to be selling this weekend.
Yeah, they're in the binder,
That's pretty cool.
So portraiture is kind of where my strengths are.
Yeah.
But I'm really starting to try to do more original pieces, which is why when Sandy asked me to do the cover for Dark Coast, I was like, that's kind of where I want to go and
it's
kind of break me out of my shell.
It's quite something for you to be part of, like the GY6, and then to be doing a collaborative, working on this with such a group of collaborative artists and whatnot. So, listen, James, this has been a lot of fun. I hope you enjoy the rest of Freddy Beach Fan Fest, and we look forward to seeing you in HalCon in November.
Very good. Very much looking forward to going there, and hopefully I've got a ton more new pieces to show off while we're there.
Wicked. Can't wait. So, awesome.